Check 1, 2, we are live. Check 1, 2, where we are live. We're so live. We're live. Good morning, everybody. Today is May 1st, 2023. May 1st, 2023. And 46 degrees out here in northeast Pennsylvania. On the cold side, but the sun is out. Welcome to America, where if you are a big bank, you can get a little bank valued at $135 or more billion dollars. You can get it on the fly, get it for free, or like 5%. So First Republic Bank goes belly up. J.P. Morgan buys it. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. How are you? Welcome, welcome. How's your health? Ask yourself, how's your health? How's your sports drinks doing? How is your health and your sports drinks and your screening for lung cancer and your screening for colonoscopy cancer? Colon cancer. That's when a doctor goes up your ass and he tries to predict your future. He tries to predict the future of your health by looking up your ass. He doesn't use a crystal ball. He uses your anus as a portal to the unknown. That's how they do it. They used to read tea leaves. Now they read bumps on your anus wall. Peace, man. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the program. Mark Schneider. How you doing? How you doing? Clayton Burgese, how are ya? Before Daba it. What's up, brother? Jim Steele, how you doing? Mikkel Slice, Zuzi Cooter, VD Martini. Jim Gerard in the house. Chris Milk, what's up? Fear porn. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Today is an interesting day in American history where a bank, J.P. Morgan Chase, JPM on the New York Stock Exchange, has gotten almost $200 billion in assets for a whopping $10 billion, which is basically for free. J.P. Morgan, First Republic, Congress has declared First Republic Bank failed. And with all that money floating around, rather than to, have to pay the people that have money in that bank, they take the bank and they throw it at a bigger bank. That's precisely what I told you would happen. Remember a long time ago, I told you that the banks, all these banks failing, would just one day look up and their money would be at a different bank, and they would do the shit, the shell game, right? Yeah, your First Republic. But now all of your money is at JPM, J.P. Morgan Chase. That's precisely what happened. So there is no bank failure. There is a new phenomena in the world, in currency, where it's never really lost. No one is technically allowed to take any money out of the system. The old days, you used to take some money and you put it in your pocket, you bury it under your mattress. Not anymore. That money has to be where everybody sees it. Digital currency. So First Republic, although there is technically loss for some executives, essentially that money, as I said, is shifted over to J.P. Morgan Chase. So we'll look at that fascinating story. Also in American Health News, there's a little article about Texas. Down there in Texas, they're investigating the efficiency and/or scam, if any, behind the vaccine push. Nutritionists are telling you don't drink sweetened drinks anymore. And Congress just gave itself $34,000 a year raise each Each member of Congress has gotten a $34,000 a year raise. Now, it's not technically a raise. It's just a meal and lodging supplement. In other words, they get $250 a day for lodging and then another like $80 a day for food. For doing nothing. None of them need it. None of them use it. All right? They all have homes and apartments. They don't need no fucking hotel fee to be in D.C. What a scam. What a ripoff. That's just another way of saying we're giving ourselves a raise and fuck you. And this is how it works. You know, this is how it works around here. So school lunches, you wonder, all across America, kids, allegedly there's hunger in America. You hear the commercials, hunger in America. You don't actually see it, but there's a campaign out there promoting that our children are hungry, and they can't afford, I don't know, lunch for $3. They have to pay $3 and $5 for lunch at school. Why don't you make that free? Why don't you subsidize the kids' food, the kids' food that need it, and not Congress who doesn't need it? You give Congress $34,000 a year, right? $80 a day for food expense, and there's kids all across America that can't get lunch, and they're fucking hungry, and then they're fighting and hurting each other. All right. Feed people. This is J.P. Morgan. This is Jamie Dimon of J.P. Morgan, smiling his ass off. One of the smartest, shrewdest players on Wall Street. He held out, and he got all of First Republic's assets for less than $15 billion, which it's free. It's essentially free. They threw it at him, and eventually, at some point, they'll pay $15 billion after all of the other money settles, right? The billions and the hundreds of billions of dollars that settle. So no real surprise there. So my name is Marcus Conte. I have a website, and every morning we're live right here on YouTube, 9 a.m. And every Tuesday evening we have a live Dharma gathering where we explore the nature of reality, where billionaires get $200 billion for the price of $15 billion. They make 1,200% on their money. How much money do you make? those kind of topics. Oh man, I think I need to slow down a bit. I need to come down a notch. What a great weekend, man. It was beautiful. It was raining. That didn't stop me. Rain doesn't stop me. I was still out there. I like when it rains, I like to go to the big public parks where they have gazebos, these covered enclosures in the suburbs. Beautiful old wood. And nobody's there because it's raining. It's just you and a bunch of picnic tables and a beautiful cover and heavy rains all around you. Beautiful. It's like an isolation chamber. And, nobody comes in there because there's nobody there because it's raining. Everybody's gone. Everybody's afraid to get out of their cars. Oh, the terrible rain. So anyway, so what do we got here? I have a website. I told you. And every morning we're live. It's educational, philosophical. It's not politics at all. We're just exploring the current events so that we could better understand them, so that I better understand them and I can better explain it to you. If you want to support the program, you can do it through Zelle, shorthappylife@gmail.com. Let's start here. So Nikki Haley, you've heard of Nikki Haley, GOP presidential candidate. Nikki Haley predicts Biden would not make it through a second term. Holy shit. Nikki Haley is predicting that Joe Biden will die in the next 5 years and Kamala Harris will be your president if you don't do something about it right now. Let's listen to Nikki Haley spell it out.
He's announced his that he's running again in 2024. And I think that we can all be very clear and say with a matter of fact that if you vote for Joe Biden, you really are counting on a President Harris, because the idea that he would make it until 86 years old is not something that I think is likely. He's announced.
So Nikki Haley is predicting that Joe Biden will be dead in the next 5 years. That's what she's saying, right? Am I exaggerating that one? He's basically saying he ain't gonna make it. He ain't gonna make it to 86.
He's announced his, that he's running again in 2024, and I think that we can all be very clear and say with a matter of fact that if you vote for Joe Biden, you really are counting on a President Harris, because the idea that he would make it until 86 years old is not something that I think is likely.
Fascinating, right? Nikki Haley, don't vote for the other guy. Vote for me. The other guy's going to be dead in 5 years, and you're going to get the black lady. You're going to get Camilla, the nobody who got elected under Joe Biden, the nobody. So funny, right? Funny humor. So down there in Texas, stuff is happening. More stuff is happening with the COVID-19 vaccine investigation. Texas AG Ken Paxton's COVID-19 vaccine investigation could stick it to big pharma executives. I wouldn't count on that. I wouldn't count on it, but it is interesting. The promoting the injection pictures again. This is good for you. Get your injection, right? They're desensitizing. Big pharma loves to push their fluids into your body. They like that. Internal medicine, they call it. We're doing internal medicine. We inject this substance into your body, and then the reaction is favorable to you, we say. But look, the thing with the immunology, right? Immunology and vaccines is rather obvious. The best immunity, the best human immunity, is earned through the human himself or herself. You earn your immunity not through synthetic injection, but through basic diet, basic exercise, basic consumption of water, basic sun intake. The sun is out right now. I want to go outside. The very, very basics of exercise and meditation and yoga. By doing these things, this is how you increase your immunity. Proper breathing, right? Eliminating the crap in your diet, in your inhalation, right? Stop beating yourself up. But instead, big pharma, because the money's there, the immediate money is there. Take a shot. Take a shot. You don't want to take a shot? That means you're a vax denier. You don't trust the science. You're dangerous. You're a conspiracy theorist. They'll tell you, man. But the logic, the very, very plain and simple, eye-popping understanding of vaccine is that it can create slight bump in immunity by stressing the body in that direction for, I don't know, maybe a few moments. And then there's a catastrophic crash, an unsustainable thing that you created. And hence you have to go back online for another one and another and another and another until your fucking immune system collapses and then you're dead. But the alternative to that is to take care of yourself. And by meditating, by getting up and exercising, moving. You have to move your body. You got to be ideal body weight or you're going to die. If you're above ideal body weight, your body is storing, fatty acids, triglycerides. You're a fat fucking deposit. You're a deposit of dangerous fats that hurt the heart. They create diabetes. They hurt the pancreas, and a lot of other things too. They'll break your bones because it's heavy to carry around. So these are the things. These are the things we should be doing. But instead, we're looking at a needle going into a black arm. A black arm is getting the needle, and So here's this story. It's sickening how much big pharma bosses have profited from COVID-19 pandemic. Moderna CEO made $400 million on his stock options and still owns a reported 2.8 billion shares in company, plus his stock and perks. Pfizer counterpart pocketed $33 million. I mean, you obviously see the profit motive. So down there in Texas investigation could have widespread implication for legal immunity granted to manufacturers of COVID-19 vaccines and open the door to class action suits from people injured by the mRNA jabs. Amid reports of rare but serious adverse effects from the mRNA jab. So manufacturers, I didn't know that. I didn't realize it. Probably knew it, but didn't realize it. That big pharma has legal immunity to COVID-19 vaccinations and any damage they have done. I didn't know that. So if you're big pharma, if you're Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, you don't give a fuck about the ramification of your medication. You're just following along. You're just doing what you're told. They're giving us the money. They want a vaccine. You got Trump touting it, Fauci touting it. Everybody push vaccine, shoot them up. People want it, and they get it. And so they got it. People got their vaccine way earlier than it was able to be tested, and now you've got the side effect of that, which was predictable. It's called vaccine injury. All medications have injury, by the way. All medications have injury, by the way. We just looked at one, didn't we? No, we didn't look at it yet. But pick a medication. Pick any heart medication, any diuretic, anything like Lasix. Doctors love to throw Lasix at a bad heart and makes it worse. All these medications have extremely negative effects, right? And on the body, they absolutely do. I mean, I'm still stuck on my doctor visit last week. After many, many years, I realize I'm slowly kind of digesting it. And it's not, I'm not personally attacking any doctor or naming them at all. But it does seem that they're all the same. After many years of not being at a doctor, the first thing they start to tell you is, oh, you need a colonoscopy. They want to go up your anus. Right? Well, first of all, they want to knock you unconscious because that's how these colonoscopies are done. You get knocked unconscious, but before you do that, you drink about, 2 gallons of radioactive fucking blue liquid that forces all of your intestines to empty. It kills everything in your intestine, kills all the bacteria, and pushes it out your asshole. Right? And then they knock you unconscious and stick a tube up your ass, trying to predict the future based on the bumps in your intestine. It's called psychic anal bump reading, where they read the bumps in your intestine. So it's ridiculous, really. The theory is that you could see small polyps of cancer developing in absence of all the material that was in the way to see it, and thereby being able to either cut it out, you literally cut it with knives. They cut your fucking polyps out of your intestine. See, the other way to go is stop doing what's causing it. First of all, cancer. These types of cancers in the lungs, these types of cancers in the intestine are very slow growing. They grow slow, so they also remission. They go into remission. They can go if they're not growing, they're dying. So if you should have any of these polyps, all you have to do is stop feeding it. Stop feeding the cancer, and the cancer will go away. Damn it, that's all it is. It's not too hard to understand, really. A first grader, a child, a 5-year-old would understand that. A 5-year-old child would understand. Stop doing the things that are causing you pain, and the pain will go away. Stop feeding the disease, and the disease goes away. But that's not how the medical field is set up. The catastrophic effects of the pandemic and subsequent interventions forced on our country and citizens deserves intense scrutiny. And we are pursuing any hint of wrongdoing to the fullest, says the politician down there in Texas, Paxton. Now, it's a nice thought, but why stop there, right? You really, look, you're going to find, of course, what you're going to find is you're going to find vaccine injury. You're going to find side effects to vaccine. But these things are not unusual. They're common knowledge in the medical field. And they basically say, well, it doesn't matter. If we give you if you catch a little myocarditis from the mRNA vaccine, that's okay. Don't worry about it. That's just a side effect. We'll give you something for your myocarditis, right? And then you snowball down that avenue of, medical consumption. Right? Look, the medical people, does the medical profession save anybody? I imagine they do. If someone walks in there and they got a, fucking bulging intestine, and they haven't taken a crap in 2 months, and they're 30 pounds overweight in their intestine, and they're all backed up. I think medical can go in there and unclog it like a fucking, like a plumber. You go in there and you can unclog the pipe. In that case, that's a very sick individual and you're saving their life. But to profess that any of these things have any preventive measures whatsoever is frivolous, is not true. So I don't really want to get into this. I'll be satisfied when I see results of this COVID-19 vaccine investigation down there in Texas. In realer news, it's not just soda. Nutritionists weigh in on the absolute worst drinks for your health. Well, there's only really 2 types of drinks. Good ones and bad ones. And the good ones fit into one category. It's called water, right? H2O, right? Water, have you heard? Water, it's the thing that falls from the sky when it rains, and it quenches all of the life on Earth, except the humans who decide to drink sports drinks and think that they're getting more bang for their buck. I don't know. Do we really have to feed the trees sports drinks to stay alive? So before you load up on your grocery cart or place an order at the coffee shop, I drink coffee a little bit, in disclosure. I drink espresso in the morning a little bit. I like it. It's nice, and I don't feel, it doesn't cause me sleeplessness or anxiety at all. I enjoy a little smashed bean once in a while. That's what it is, a crushed bean. It's a crushed bean with hot water pushed through it. Espresso is. And a little bit. Not gallons of it, not all day long, not a shot of espresso and then 25 cigarettes to wash it down. Nothing like that. Right? But that's not how people consume coffee. What they do is they take that 2 or 3 shots of espresso and then they throw it into a half a pound of sugar and a blender and some cow milk and mix it all together and throw in some ice cream, and they call that a fucking drink, right? A coffee drink. So on the top of the, quote, nutritionists list are energy drinks, pre-workout drinks. I guess this is a can of Red Bull. Traditional soda. Soda is bad for your health due to added sugar. Yeah. This is definitely contributing. I hate it when I see fat kids drinking soda and eating candy. Do you ever go to you ever go to an ice cream parlor and just sit and watch? Just sit and watch. Watch the fat people that jump out of their car, get online at the ice cream parlor, and order the big banana float, and get right back in their car because they don't want to see them. They don't want to see anybody. They don't want anybody to see them eating like a pig, and they might call them a pig. And this is not fat shaming. This is a bad problem in America. Should you be ashamed of being fat? No, you should be concerned. You should be concerned if you're 25 pounds above the ideal. And what is ideal? Ideal is basically a little meat on the bone, but no flubbly flub hanging off your fucking stomach, where your gut is hanging over your belt, right? Or you got fucking like pig arms, like giant meat. You know what I'm saying? Ideal is subjective, speculative. What is ideal? Ideal body weight for me is 165-ish at 5'11". It has to do with your weight, your height. Excuse me. 5'11". There's a calculation for it, but be roughly, and it's a good calculation to use, the ideal body weight measure. If you are, then you eliminate so many of these other issues. But how do you get there? How do you get to being fat? By, it's a societal problem. Kids are, from day one, from Christmas, they're given candy, and Easter, and fucking pounds of chocolate. Here's a chocolate Easter bunny. Eat the Easter bunny, Johnny. It's good for you. Hey, your fucking teeth fall out. That's what happens. Your teeth fall out eventually, and then you may someday catch it 50 years later, and then your teeth are gone. But the rest of your health is pretty good. I can live without teeth. I'm fine with that for now. I'm gonna get some fake ones soon. I'm working on it. God, he's gonna get some falsies, man. I'm gonna have some falsies. For someone following a 2,000 calorie diet, that means that no more than 200 calories. This means no more than 200 calories from added sugar. No calories from sugar. Try that. Try no calories from sugar. Try just drinking water. If you want to fancy up your water, try sparkling water. You can squeeze lemons, limes, any fruit. You could drop a strawberry into it. That's not really good. Pineapple is very good. Orange, good sweet orange. Those little oranges. Drop one of those in a seltzer and drink that. Absolutely delicious. And you can drink a lot more of it, too. You drink a lot more of naturally sweetened water with a piece of fruit than you would if it was a fucking soda with 12 tablespoons of sugar in it. So a lot of these sports drinks, a lot of these coffee drinks are very, very bad for your health. They're just loaded with sugar and fructose sugar and corn syrup and other non-foods. And cow milk, which is not good. My recommendation on milk, if you like milk, go to the store, buy a pound of cashews. Do this, try it. Very simple. Buy a pound of cashews. Sometimes they're expensive. You might spend $15 or $10, $8. I don't know how much a pound of cashews is. Probably like $7. But you take it, get a blender, you get a handful of cashews, you put a handful of cashews into the blender, add maybe a cup and a half, 2 cups of water, hit it for 60 seconds, and you got delicious, better than cow milk. It's really good. You could pour that on cereal. You could put that in your coffee. It doesn't curl. You can make cappuccino with it. It's delicious, absolutely delicious, right? You don't need to add anything, and you don't need to torture the cow to get it. So I don't know what I'm talking about, man. I'm talking about health. So I mentioned earlier, Congress pays itself an extra $34,000 a year. Congratulations, Congress. Congratulations. Listen to this scam. People like Alessandro Ocasio-Cortez signed on for this shit, right? Washington, D.C. needs an emergency supply of snazzy sandwich boards announcing will legislate for food. A hunger crisis on Capitol Hill gave congressional leaders no choice but to trample the Constitution. Thanks to a backroom deal, House members can now claim automatic reimbursement of $258 per night for lodging and $79 a day for meals while they're in D.C., right? Automatic. There's no reimbursement. This is not a reimbursement. This is just $34,000 extra dollars a year to do these things that we don't do anyway. There's not a single congressperson in that, and they make $170,000 a year already. A lot more than that. They make a lot more than that because each congressperson, each senator has $1 million fucking slush fund that they pay staff. They pay for shit. There's a big scam over there. But they just got another $34,000 a year for food. And as I said in the beginning, how many hungry kids do you have in public schools? They go to public school. The kid from the better neighborhood or the better parent hooked him up with $5 so he could have a good lunch. And the poor kid is standing there hungry, right? And he can't get any lunch because he doesn't have $5. Or he gets the shitty lunch, right? The crap for $2 or whatever the fuck they serve, right? But why can't you make a good, wholesome, why don't we start in the schools, right? Good, wholesome meal, healthy, right? Why not make it 2 meals a day? Why not make it breakfast and lunch? And then you're on your own for dinner because you don't really need that. You need a good breakfast and you need a good big meal right in the middle of the day. And that should help, that should carry you. You don't need much more than that, goddammit. See, if we did that for kids, that would be a good day. But instead, we're giving money to politicians to the tune of $34,000 a year for lodging and food that they don't need. Members of Congress are whining that they receive only $175,000 a year, more than triple the average U.S. salary and higher pay than 93% of Americans right there. Congress is already making more than 93% of Americans, and $174,000 a year for salary, and they just got another $34,000 for. Congratulations, Congress. Let's give them a hand. Good job, guys. Good job. So let's talk about this bank debacle, and then let's break for the markets right now because I am curious. The market, the J.P. Morgan has just inherited First Republic, and U.S. regulators seize First Republic and sell substantially all assets to J.P. Morgan in largest bank failure since 2008. All right, so it's in, and the market right now is up. Dow Jones Industrial Average up. How's J.P. Morgan doing? JPM on the news that they are going to inherit First Republic. Pow, up $4 per share. Up $4 a share. And that's not really much for JP Morgan. That's a lot for JP Morgan because JP Morgan doesn't really go up much over the years. You see the 5-year chart. You see the max chart. It was $12 back in 1993. The crash of 08. The crash of 08, we saw $22 a share, and now we're at $142, $142. That's a pretty big run up, but over the last 5 years, it doesn't really hold up. But nonetheless, J.P. Morgan Chase is up $4 a share today, and let's look at the story. Why is that? U.S. regulators seized First Republic Bank to sell assets to J.P. Morgan. Okay, United States regulators said on Monday, First Republic Bank has been seized and a deal agreed to sell, quote, sell the bank to JP Morgan Chase and Company in what is the third major U.S. institution to fail in 2 months. Wall Street major banks will take most of the Wall Street Bank, JP Morgan, will take most of First Republic's assets and all the deposits, including uninsured ones, the regulator said. That's a lot of money. The FDIC estimated in a statement that the cost to the Deposit Insurance Fund would be about $13 billion. The final cost will be determined by the FDIC terminates the receivership. So the price tag, I did say it's JP Morgan got it for free, but the pseudo price tag is $13 billion. So JP Morgan agrees to take how much in assets? How much money? First Republic has total assets of $229.1 billion. $103 billion in deposits alone. So the total, let's just call it $229 billion is what First Republic is worth. $229 billion. And how much did Morgan Stanley pay? JP Morgan, not Morgan Stanley. JP Morgan, $13 billion. So for $13 billion that they don't have to pay right away, they got $229 billion in liquidity. Now, you ask yourself, why is Jamie Price always smiling, the smartest guy on Wall Street? What a deal he got, right? $13 billion. I mean, this is insanity, right? It's fucking crazy how much they got. So regulators, when these banks crash, I told you, the small banks are getting eaten by the large banks. They're getting consumed. And what is JP Morgan? JP Morgan, the big get bigger, the rich get richer. So there's the numbers. FDIC, the amount JP Morgan Chase would have to pay $13 billion. The total number of assets, $229 billion. That's like 15 times your money. All right, what a fucking deal JP Morgan made. What else we got on this one? So, second largest U.S. bank failure in history. First Republic Bank seized by FDIC. Sold, quote, sold. Now, that's free. When you get something up front and you don't have to pay, you only have to pay a fraction of it somewhere down the line when some receivership is disqualified, maybe 30 years from now. Right? That's called free. JP Morgan is too big to fail, so they throw the fucking smaller bank and all the confusion because Congress doesn't know what to do with it. They have no idea. JP Morgan knows exactly what to do with it. Those guys are bankers. They know what to do with the money. You give it to them, they take care of it. It's taken care of. And what a win. What a win for the big banks. So the big banks are getting bigger. Can JP Morgan someday fail? It is possible. It is possible. But it would have to include the United States failing as well. Remember, some of these big banks refused to fail. You remember in 2008, Goldman Sachs refused to fail, and they got Henry Paulson to knock on Bush's door and free up $700 billion at the time. That was a lot of money, $700 billion. Now it's nothing. Now it's like that's what we do. That's how big the numbers are now. But anyway, so that's really all. Update: JP Morgan snaps up First Republic assets in U.S. auction. JP Morgan said on Monday it will buy most of First Republic assets after regulators seized the troubled lender at the weekend, making the third failure. So under the deal, which came after an auction, JP Morgan will pay $10 billion for most of the assets of the San Francisco bank. So it's not even 13, it's 10. So somewhere in between there. JP Morgan is going to, quote, pay. And they're not going to pay it up front. They're not going to say, here is $10 billion, because nobody has $10 billion fucking money. You give them the $229 billion that it's worth, right? And then they, down the road, will peel off a couple of billion and shut you up. Yeah, so that's all. That's all I want to say. Acquiring businesses will be overseen. The acquired businesses will be overseen by J.P. Morgan's Consumer and Community Banking division, I guess. So if you were wondering if you had First Republic Bank shares or anything, your money with them, or you had some kind of a loan, you now have a J.P. Morgan loan. Congratulations. You thought you were going to squeak out of that money that you owed them, but no, now you owe it to J.P. Morgan. That's how it works. That's how the shell game works in America, pal. So let me do a more proper look at the markets right now. J.P. Morgan is up 2.5% today. And how's technology doing? Overall, Dow is up. S&P 500 is up. NASDAQ looks like it's about to go green right now. It's down 4. Apple up 29 cents. Amazon down $1. Google down down 50 cents. Meta down $1.65. Microsoft down 144. On the other hand, the banking stocks, which I don't really look at, are all up, I would imagine. Banking, it's a good day to be in banking. On Wednesday, we'll see if the Fed is going to jack up the interest rate another 25 basis points. It looks like they will, but it's already priced in. It might be the last bump up, which Wall Street loves. Because if that's the last one, in next month, there won't be a bump up. So you'll see the markets rise to that occasion. So we might be seeing the end of the rate hikes for a while. So thank you all for joining me. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Mikhail Sly, Chris Milk, what's up? What's up? TJ, how are ya? How are you? Zoot Cooter, Weevil Girl. Good morning, Weevil Girl in the house. Well, it's Nate Dudson's here. Thank you, everybody. Champs, Quantum Epic. Go out and enjoy yourself today. It's looks like it's going to be 50 and sunny in the Northeast. 50 degrees is good to take care of yourself. It's not. If the sun is out, forget about the temperature. If the sun is out, get out in front of the sun. Go out there and expose yourself. If you don't like to expose your body, just expose your legs. It's still part of the body. Wear shorts, sit in the sun, drink water. Exercise, breathe, meditate. Relax. Enjoy. Breathe. Quantum Epic says Wolf Alice. I'm a big fan of Wolf Alice. I like that band. Big fan of Wolf Alice. Good stuff. Really good. Really good band. I love the chick who sings. Really good. Peace, everybody. Marcus Conte reporting.